One thing, because I think it'll be helpful to folks. One thing that over the last week or so has been in the news. I mean, Cursor and other things have been in the news more, but one was Mark and team at Salesforce did a big announcement of this release on Headless Salesforce. I don't want to talk about the product itself, but what I thought would be interesting was to talk about how our Salesforce is already headless inside of 10K and others. I have never used our Salesforce instance ever. I don't even have a password. I don't even have a password to my knowledge, or I don't even have an account.
Yeah, you don't have. I don't. Jason at Saster
does not exist in Salesforce.
Does not exist.
Okay, but here's what's interesting. Now that we run Salesforce headless, among other places, inside of 10K or AVP of marketing, I check Salesforce every day. I never used it for a decade. Now I use Salesforce because it's headless every day, because that data is exposed inside of our AI VP marketing that has all of our 360 data and that I can use. So that's interesting. The other thing that's interesting that I want you to dig on, which I should have known, we're down to a couple seats on Salesforce per se, right? Because our team is 20 agents, 3 humans, but we pay more for Salesforce than we used to.
We do.
This is the thing. So there's a lot of folks out there that are saying the death of the seat is the death of traditional software. And to some extent it may be, but with our agents using so much data and so much access, we pay more, and it's okay. I mean, we wish we didn't, but it's okay. So you want to talk about the cost and then how headless works a little bit?
Yeah. So on the cost piece, so our Salesforce bill as it stands, and this is before I do anything on the marketing side to fix the issues we're having, but as it stands today versus a year ago. So a year ago, April 2025, we had more humans. So our Salesforce bill was something like, I want to say 12 to 15K ballpark off the top of my head for, price per seat, whatever. It's like a couple grandish per seat, and there's like an API seat, whatever. It's 12 to 16K. That was our bill last year. This year, right now, as it stands in April of 2026, is, I believe, something like 22 and change. And users came off.
On a percentage basis, that's a lot more.
It is a lot more. However, I don't mind, because the price obviously per seat went down because we don't have as many users. You're not even you were never a user. So it's basically I'm paying for me and David, and I think one more like admin seat for some other API thing. So let's just say three users effectively on account, and the rest of it is just data usage. It's, our Agentforce usage. And they did base it off of like how much we used and blew through all of our like free Agentforce credits and all that jazz. And they're like, this is how many you're going to need for the next year. So at least it's for, the next year. And they also, they did it. That also included a increase of us to be Slack Enterprise plan so that we could use Slackbot. We were also on a free trial, but then we blew through all those in like a day, I think. Slackbot was like, upgrade. So we upgraded. That was like only, maybe 1,000 of the bigger increase. So that one is honestly, if you're just upgrading anything, just upgrade that one because it's pretty cheap for what you get out of it. But so that's how it's changed. So now instead of paying for seats, we're paying for pretty much data calls and actions, right? And I know some people are critical of Salesforce on like how much they charge per action. Do I wish it was a little bit less? Yes. But I think they'll get there. I think part of how Slackbot works now of, being able to call up your agents kind of for you is a good way to do it, where it's a little bit unclear how they charge on all that right now and how it all gets worked out. Maybe the marketing team don't care as long as you're using it and getting your agents deployed.